Captain's log, Stardate 2673 Charlie 22 Tango Tango. This is the USPP.
Let's catch up.
Not now, Barrett. I've successfully finished my ridiculous 200-hour playthrough of Starfield, and we're coming home to give the review. Forget it, just go. Man, before going into Starfield, I saw all these perfect review scores, but at the same time a surge of new players that hated the game.
We may have to agree to disagree.
This is something I really needed to judge for myself. So after a whopping 200 hours and getting all the achievements...
So what's the verdict? In this case, I'd say spoilers are appreciated.
Starfield is probably the most challenging game to review and talk about this year. I am very mixed. I'm somewhere in between these two camps of good and bad. So I'm going to piss everyone off who loves the game, as well as piss everyone off who hates the game.
Oh no. That sounds ominous.
So Starfield tries a lot of things. It's very much a dialogue-focused RPG where your attributes and skills unlock new dialogue options. I love it in RPGs when you can convince your way out of a fight or persuade someone to give you a discount.
I think you just convinced me.
Spaceship building, spacefighter combat, space exploration, building up and managing outposts, faction quests, laser beaming Karens.
Does that woman have any idea who I am?
Give up now!
The concept and potential behind Starfield is incredible, but let's get into what actually works and what does not. Speaking of what works, I swear I didn't get many bugs.
We've heard stories too.
Okay, maybe a few in those 200 hours. Women flying across the screen. In the middle of conversations, characters will come on screen and just stare at you like they're a deer caught in headlights. And I swear my Sarah companion is just broken and needs refunded.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you.
A lot of these little bugs are just goofy and harmless. But later on there were some side quests I couldn't complete because the space station I was supposed to go to just wasn't there. That sucks. Starfield ran surprisingly well for me, and guess how many times it crashed in my 200 hours? Nope. Just once.
I can't believe it!
Hey, USPP standing by. Trying to grow the channel. Really want to level up my subscriber count because that's going to unlock early review copies of games. Yeah, my Starfield video is out so late, so it would be really nice to get access to games earlier. Thank you. So Starfield starts on a moon where you can uncover a mysterious artifact. You're approached by Barrett, a member of the Constellation faction, who gives you a ship and gets you to join Constellation, while you'll work with the rest of the team to uncover more of these artifacts.
Welcome to Constellation.
From here, you're free to explore the universe of Starfield. There's a whole lot of nothingness, but you'll occasionally come across something interesting. I managed to find a planet where clones of famous people exist, and I came to the rescue of Genghis Khan.
The man from the stars. Come to see me.
I also came across a space station where I found a living artificial intelligence.
Clarification. I am not artificial. I am real.
Little discoveries like this make it all worthwhile. Get this, you can even build outposts on planets and have crew members run the outposts and harvest or farm resources. Sounds awesome. But while they're not required to make outposts, I never really found much use for them. To be honest, I just had fun designing my own custom home. So you got your own starter spaceship, and I'll be honest, I'm generally not a huge fan of space combat games. But after a little while, this element of Starfield grew on me, and I think that it helps that I'm at the helm of my personally customized ship, accompanied by my hand-picked crew. It makes it a bit more personal. This is my ship and my crew.
This never gets old. Lift off!
Make sure you check in on your crew every now and then. They'll have their own little dilemmas and personal stories which add a little bit of flavour to them.
Thanks for checking in with me.
Make sure you do actually check in on them, because if you don't, they'll keep nagging you till you do.
Got a moment? Let's catch up.
Check this out, I mentioned in my AI video, in some games they'll pre-record a list of certain names, so characters can speak your name if you're on the list. Guess whose name is in the game?
Captain Peter, I will proceed to my assigned post.
Vasco can actually refer to me by my name.
Captain Peter, everyone will be in the library.
My name wasn't in Fallout 4. Just for this reason, my robot companion Vasco always has a space on my spaceship. Pretty impressed with the shipbuilding mechanics, you can get really creative. One criticism, having certain ship upgrade parts behind certain planets is one thing, but having some of the upgrade parts hidden behind 4 tiers of skill points in a specific skill tree was a little bit of a ball ache, and I felt like I needed those upgrades to complete the major quests.
Oh, you do have a point.
General combat feels a little bit dated. In fact, in some ways I enjoyed Fallout's combat more because of the VAT system that's not present here. The VAT system allows you to make very cinematic automatic attacks, almost making the game pseudo turn-based. It's a pity Starfield doesn't have any system to replace this, and for a futuristic sci-fi game, I think the selection of weapons is a bit uninspired, especially with the melee weapons. We've got daggers, axes, katanas, basic stuff. Would have loved to see something a bit more futuristic like energy swords, considering we can grav jump between space systems.
Ain't that the truth?
Now things get a bit more creative with special powers you'll earn through the main story quests. There's a big mix of stuff. Some really awesome stuff like turning invisible, raise the dead, summon clones from other universes, and supernova explosions. It's kind of like a lot of the stuff you'd expect in an Elder Scrolls game. There are some pretty awesome powers, but I feel they don't integrate into the universe that well. I really like in Elder Scrolls how there's a story and fantasy behind magic that's integrated into the world. You can join wizarding guilds or hear rumours of evil necromancers. Okay, let's get serious.
Serious mode activated.
So those special powers, you'll earn those through the main story campaign. At some point in the story, your Constellation companion, Vladimir, will direct you to 24 hidden temples across the universe. One by one, you'll have to go to one of these not very well hidden temples. Go through the front door, float through some energy balls, get a new special power, and do the exact same thing 24 times. Sorry, but these temples are absolute garbage.
Let's just calm down now.
If it was me, I'd have a little dungeon, a challenge, or a puzzle the player must face in each of these temples. The main story is decent around the temples. It has its moments. I quite enjoyed the earlier missions where you're helping specific members of Constellation track down relics in little scenarios, but I've got to admit the story didn't blow me away. I think I was hopeful for more epic moments like the Liberty Prime in Fallout or fighting your first dragon in Skyrim.
That fun, huh?
Around the main story, there's also 4 major factions that have their own questlines. The Freestar Collective has you joining the Rangers with a detective-like case. Getting a job at Ryujin allows you to lie and manipulate your way up Ryujin's corporate ladder.
So, congratulations, you've been promoted.
You can go undercover and join the Pirate Armada, the Crimson Fleet. And there's also the UC Vanguard faction questline, a civilian navy that protects the United Colonies.
Hey, you ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, earn some credits?
These faction quests might have been my favourite part of Starfield, and if you do play Starfield, make sure you complete these faction questlines. A few things I want to talk about after playing extensively for 200 hours. Whatever difficulty you play on, it's got the same problem as a lot of other Bethesda RPGs. It's a little too easy to outlevel everything. But you know what? I'd rather have it this way than level scaling in the game. Starfield also has New Game Plus, and how they've done it is kind of brilliant. In every iteration of New Game Plus, something different changes in the game universe. I don't want to spoil anything, and people are still discovering some of the new stuff, so really exciting. I just wish your outposts and homes weren't lost going into New Game Plus. There you have it, a very mixed bag with Starfield. Like I said, make sure you play those faction questlines. Building stuff is fun, and you'll definitely have your occasional special moments through exploration and discoveries. Very much dialogue-focused RPG. A lot of bland stuff and lots of jank. I personally wouldn't give it a perfect score like all these guys, and I think it deserves a little more credit than all these user reviews. I'm in the middle, I'd give it about 8 out of 10. Peace for now.